Positivity 2018!
Yay!
Hey, welcome back. It's the first show of 2018.
Yeah, and to celebrate that, we have a nice rainbow in the game now. Because I want to say that now.
Right off the
Why
top.
not?
Right off. I've got a point where we talk about that, Damien. It's true.
I spoiled it.
True.
I'm so.
It's not called a rainbow either.
Yeah, and I don't know why. Harry, what have
Called
you
a
done?
multicolored circular arc effect. I'll tell you why actually later when we get to it.
That's cool.
Yes, so we're back. Thank you for bearing with us through the holidays. We do have families we like to see, so we couldn't be here for a few weeks, but now we're back. Back chained to these couches. We're never leaving these couches ever again until next Christmas. But we have a...
And I'm back at my spot.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Our Max, who we talk about sometimes, this was his brainchild, was to swap these guys this week.
I'm on the edge of the screen again.
No, you're barely even in frame.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have half of a body.
Where am I now?
But see, here's the thing. When Roman is back there and I'm up front, I look like a giant. It's like Lord of the Rings, how they did the Hobbit stuff. See?
No, you look like...
It makes me Gandalf and you're a Hobbit.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
A resolution.
Yeah, this is... Yeah, exactly. Cutting out the sweets. We have a lot to talk about today. The very first thing right off the bat we wanted to talk about is... maybe you don't know, but we keep a close eye on our community, and we know the questions you're asking a lot and the things you want to know that we don't always get to answer right away. So we know that there have been a lot of questions basically since we started Season 4 with what's happening after Season 4 For Honor. Do we go away? Do we diminish into the west like the
bigger
elves
vacations
to keep the Lord of the Rings thing? Yeah, longer vacations. What happens? And we actually wanted to address that. For our first show, first thing back, we wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what's coming in what we call Season 5. It's a very creative.
6 and 7.
And 6 and 7, sure. Because we didn't want to leave you hanging. We know there's a lot of questions, and there's a lot of specific questions within that, like, when are the servers coming? When are the hero updates coming? Blah, blah, blah. So we want to talk about that right now. So that's why these fellows are here. And like I said, it'll be high-level points. This is not a deep dive into all of the content of Season 5. You know how we do that leading up to the season closer.
Damien didn't have time to make a shiny PowerPoint also.
True.
Yeah.
Sorry for
yeah, so we're not going to sit here and show you a visual roadmap or anything, but we do want to give you the high points of the season, not of the full year, but that's why we're here today. So I figured we could kick things off with you, Roman. I told him to smile before the show, and now that's backfiring on me immediately.
You see, he shouldn't sit here. They can't even feel him.
We got focus. We're doing it live. So yes.
So yes, that's right. For the next season, we are changing a little bit the way we do season on For Honor. Why? Because we listen. And we heard you. You want more balancing. You want more stability. So for Season 5, on top of dedicated server, the team priority is on overall balancing of the characters, of the existing roster.
That's right.
So we won't be shipping any brand new characters, not yet. But all the reworks, the rebalancing that we've speaking about a lot, like the Kensei, the Conqueror, the Zerker, the Highlander also, they will ship with the release of the next season. And actually, you can expect similar treatments for most of the heroes of the existing roster in the next seasons. So 6 and so on.
Sort of a rolling process.
Exactly. That's really going to be the focus in terms of balancing for the next seasons. One more thing in terms of balancing, changes to the parry. We already discussed that. We will explain them a little bit more in depth in the coming weeks. They will release with Season 5. So that's coming also Season 5.
Cool. Yeah. Like Roman just said, we're going to cover all this in a lot more detail when we get closer to the season, but we wanted to get it out there because so we do these weekly community reports, and at the top, every week almost since Season 4 started, is all these things that he's talking about. The servers, the updates, the parry, lag compensation. Damien.
Yes.
Damien.
Yes.
Is that it?
No, enfin, I can go a bit more in details. So the other big subject of Season 5, of course, are the dedicated servers. So they will come during Season 5.
Yep.
We don't have the exact ETA now, but the plan is to ship them during Season 5. So as people saw it during the open test, it went pretty well. It's really adding a big gap on the game stability. So no more resyncs, no more host migrations, no more NAT management or NAT issues. And it was only a test, so it wasn't our final version of it.
Right.
The team kept working on it since then, gather all the very cool feedback we received from the community, from the tech aspect
Your mom's
of the
here.
game. My mom
I don't know if they can hear the horn honking
Happy New
outside.
Year. I don't know if people hear it. Anyway, so all of that related to server. So thank again to the community to have participated in that. We're polishing it, the last phase of the servers. And as soon as we ship it, we stabilize it, then we will be able to release, as you said, the lag compensation as well. We're waiting to gather the good data on the stability, not the stability, the latency regarding the servers to ship the lag compensation.
Right.
We're also finishing it right now, but we want to wait to release the server to put the good values regarding the lag compensation.
First phase server release, second phase lag
compensation.
Yeah, it will be in, but we won't turn it on because we want to see how many frames basically we need to lag in the system, and that is based on the average latency.
Yeah.
Right.
So we want to have that visibility and the average latency based on the position of the server, the population, etc., to then be able to switch it on with the correct values.
Right. Which should be different, or likely could be different from what we have in the P2P model. So.
Yeah.
Yep. And speaking of the lag compensation stuff, actually the fight team is working on some much more detailed info about what the actual plan is that we're going to share in a few weeks, probably on a blog post.
Yeah.
Because when you have graphics and tech details, blogs are definitely better than.
Yeah, how it works, what's the reasoning behind it.
So there's more to come on that soon this season. So that's that. So I just want to summarize all the things that you just said, so it's clear. I know people are still rolling into the stream. So with the start of Season 5, which comes only in a few weeks, actually, about a month. With the start of Season 5, we're going to do some of the hero updates. The ones that we've talked about
Conqueror,
previously.
Kensei, Berserker, Islander.
Yep. We'll do more as the seasons roll on. And then during Season 5, the dedicated servers will come.
Yep.
We'll give you an update specifically on when, as soon as we know that date. They're just doing some final testing to know when it can be. And then, what else? Yes, lag compensation, exactly. Thank you.
And of course, there's going to be many more.
Yeah, and we so we keep having our weekly release.
Yeah.
So that's not gone. Something we love and we want to keep doing. We will still have new features added to the game. We still have new content added to the game. And of course, events, that's a cool thing. So it's something we want to keep doing, at least one per season. And we will keep surprise players like we did this week by, hey, why not add a new game mode variation with Dance of Death? Because those are cool things we like to experiment with, like realistic modes and stuff like that. So we'll keep doing weekly new additions like that.
Yeah, so there's still a ton more detail, as Damien, like all those things we could go do a whole show on. So we will very soon. Exactly. So actually, we wanted to tell you, like, if you come back on January 25th, that show, so 2 weeks from now, if I'm doing my math right, which I never do, that's when we'll get more in detail on the Season 5 stuff. We just want to give you that high level today as we start the year off with you, not leaving you in the dark, because I know a lot of you feel in the dark. Also, a lot of you are like, I'm saving up my steel for new heroes. So, hey, maybe this cool new effect this week is more shiny now. So thank you for that. And thank you for all the feedback. We do keep such a close eye on it. And that helps us. It helps us to inform us to know what to talk about on this show.
Yeah.
And that's sort of why we wanted to kick off the year this way.
But it also helps us adapt our plan and make our plan right based on the current state of the game and where we want it to be, so keep it coming.
Yeah, and I've actually seen a lot of cool discussion, even before any of this, info on Reddit, on the forums, when people are speculating about the next season. And like, I've seen a lot of people say, like, I'd really like them to just focus on that overall balance of the existing roster and like getting it into a really good spot. So I'm excited that that's where things are going for season 5. So hopefully you're excited as well. Speaking of excitement, we have a ton more to talk about. That is not our show, obviously. We have a lot more going on today. And just a little info. We're going to start rolling into it, if that's cool with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
So we weren't here last week, as I mentioned. And a couple things happened last week. We did a live update.
Yes.
And the live update was to fix a Raider bug. It was his back throw, guard break, and backwards input. It was throwing the enemy abnormally far, causing them to be out of attack range. So the live update addressed that. I'm glad that we could get that out quickly. And we also had an outage over the weekend, Ubisoft-wide, and that affected a lot of people playing the game. So we did a compensation as soon as we got back. So everyone, all of our active players for the last 30 days have been compensated. They get combat packs. So if you haven't logged into the game yet this week, check that out. You should have one. Mm-hmm. So that's all I missed for last week as far as I know. Next week, we've got another patch. A title update, as we call it, not a live update. It's patch version 1.18. And we thought we would read you some of the patch notes on the show today. We'll do that a bit later. We're going to have Stefan from the fight team join us, actually. So that'll be in a little bit. And also Fred, our delightful CM who's in the chat right now, will be posting the full notes, because we're not going to do every single bullet. He'll be posting the full notes on our website as we do the show. So I'm sure he can link you when that's up. But don't steal our thunder, Fred. Let us talk about it, then post it. Unless you've already done it and I still love you. Hey, another cool thing. This is the first time we've done this. We're as of this morning, doing a discount on Mythic outfits.
Yeah.
So they were previously 15,000 steel. You can get them for 10,000 from now until January 15th at 8 a.m. It's a pretty good price for Mythics. And you want to talk about Dance of Death? You mentioned it already.
Yes. So
what is
it? It's a game mode the team made like a few months ago that we found really interesting with
variation
and really mode. Yeah, a game mode variation.
It's a variation on the brawl game mode.
On the brawl game mode. So the idea here is that to win, you need to kill both opponents. They need to be dead at the same time. And the switch is that as soon as you're dead, you respawn, and each time you die, you add a new second of respawn time. So the more you kill the players, the longer they take to respawn, and then the easier it goes to have both of them killed at the same time. There are no revives. And it's a pretty fun mode, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm very excited to jump on some streams after the show. I think Clutch actually told me he'll be streaming right after, so I might jump on there and see how he can do with this new rule. And yes, thank you, Alex, for flagging that. I steamrolled right over another thing I wanted to show people. Before the holidays, we released the Frostwind Festival. Came with it a bunch of new content.
Yeah.
Masks for all the different factions. And there was some feedback about the Viking mask.
Yeah, the buffalo mask.
The buffalo.
The buffalo.
Was suboptimal.
It wasn't as successful as the two others, I would say.
Yeah.
And again, we saw that. We heard it loud and clear.
Yep.
And
agreed with it.
And agreed with it. And so we decided to improve it. So we improved the buffalo mask. We didn't make a new mask because then I saw people super excited and giving a lot of new ideas of mask. And those are cool ideas, great feedback. But that was not our mission. Our mission here was to make the buffalo mask better.
Yes.
Or at the same level as the others, basically. Yeah. So the team worked on it during those past weeks. I think it will be released during next season.
It will.
Because we need
with the release of season
to have it in. And do we have a video of that?
We do. Delightful. Ooh. Max made a video. Let's roll it now. It shows the before and after.
Buffalo Mask V2.
Yeah.
So I want to thank again the team for their quick turnaround because they worked on it during the Christmas period. So
Yes.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
And just to say too, like I think there were a lot of cool ideas, which I think we'll look at for future masks, but also to do a complete new mask with new model and everything would take a lot more than that.
And some people unlocked the buffalo, some people liked it. So the idea was really not to do a new mask, but more to improve it so that people who already own it are happier because it's better, and people who might not liked it before now maybe are interested about it. So we think it was the best thing to do.
Cool. Just one thing.
Thanks again for the feedback on the mask.
Yeah, I'm glad that we were able to do that, turn it around really quickly and respond to it really quickly. Very cool. Back on the Dance of Death, I didn't give you the dates, so if you want to throw that up there, Max. So it's running now, as of right now. You can go in the game and check it out. You just go to the events playlist, and there it is, and it runs until the 18th at 8 a.m., so full week.
So yeah, we wanted to start the new year with a new game mode variation.
Yeah.
Because
This one is really cool.
Yeah.
It's a little sadistic, which I like.
Yeah.
I wanted to remind people of something. On the show, the last show we did before the end of the year, we gave out sweaters. We gave sweaters to winners of the raffle in the chat. But to do that, you actually need to check your Twitch messages and respond to us, or we can't give you your sweater. We didn't send you whispers, we actually sent you messages. So go to your Twitch inbox, and you might have to switch the tab to other. It's a little complicated for whatever reason. I don't know why this is how their inbox is, but please check, because not all of you have responded to us. We don't have your addresses, and those sweaters are baller. So check your Twitch messages. Also, on that same note, if you remember in the open test, we put together a ton of rewards for people, both in-game and physical, that we can ship them. Jeez, I don't know if people can hear the horns. It's like a parade.
No, they're removing the snow in the street.
The winners have been selected and contacted, and not very many of you have responded because the contact that we used was your Uplay emails. Because we use Uplay, we're able to access your account and see, okay, this is their contact. I know you might have set up your Uplay account 10 years ago and maybe use a different email address now. Check
Or a trash email.
or a trash email. Check your trash email because we have emailed you if you're one of the winners and we need your information to give that to you. We want to give you these things. So please do that, because we can't spend every day sending reminders waiting for people to respond. So,
and if you don't, we'll keep everything.
If we don't, we're just going to roll around in it like money. That's what I do with money. Okay, and that brings us to the content of the week, which you spoiled. It's the multicolored circular arc effect for all heroes. It's 5,000 steel. It's for idle, emote, and execution. So I asked, because as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, it's a rainbow, and everyone internally calls it a rainbow. Well, why aren't we calling it a rainbow? So I asked our writer Ari, who's been on the show and who people know from Reddit is a meme lord, as you might call. And I said, what's the story? She's like, I thought it was funny to make it the most complicated name ever for something so basic that everyone knows is a rainbow. So that's a good joke, Ari.
That's Ari's style.
That is Ari's style, so thank her for that. Enjoy your multicolored circular arc effect, and let's check out a video of it right now. Yeah, I love that. I hadn't noticed until just this viewing that the chop off the head is replaced with a beautiful ball of light. I like it a lot.
Peaceful.
It's very peaceful.
And shiny. I really like it.
So enjoy your rainbows, everybody. I know it's very fitting for this game. Bio, you're here because another campaign has ended in the faction war.
Yes.
Campaign number 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
But it actually determined the winner.
It sealed the Vikings' victory.
Yes.
So yeah, super
Finally.
happy about that.
Finally.
We're back Oh, cry a river, come on. So super happy about it.
It's our first win since
like-
season 1.
Our first win since season 1.
Yes.
It was well deserved.
I agree.
Last campaign finished with 46 territories for the
Holy
Vikings, so
crap.
we can flex a little bit.
46.
Yeah, it was a crushing victory.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was really solid for the Vikings in general. The whole campaign was very good for us. So what happened is you can see if you look at all the battles, basically the Vikings took control of the center of the map, like the central territories pretty early on. And then they kept shoveling troops in there. They lost it a few times, but most of the time they had it. So it kind of was a cornerstone and prevented people from going there and give them an access to go to the enemy spots. It was, I don't know if it was a strategy, but
Right.
this is how things behaved.
Yes.
It was pretty cool to see that and see the impact of having put troops there in previous round, trickling down the rest of the campaign, basically. So really, in the end, you could see that in Battle 28, it was pretty much sealed off because the Vikings just got so many territories, but with really low amount of troops. So people keep an eye on the delta of the troops because sometimes you could have get some territories easily, but well, and
We didn't even need it.
no, us were fine, so it's good. Don't look at the deltas. But I have to give a kudos to the samurais, though. They reached this campaign their personal record of manually and war banner deployed
Nice.
troops. So basically, they were really engaged. They went up to 48% of their troops being manually deployed over the war banner. But it's still below the 52 of the Vikings. That is steady. So always good engagement from our faction.
And that always seems to be one of the big differences.
Yes, it's always a big deal is who really deploys manually and makes a big difference. And also we had a little thing this season about since starting Battle 24, we had a dip in the amount of samurais playing. So we lost about 4% of the samurais. They just stopped playing for some reason. So dropping the ball was not a good idea. But hope they're gonna play a bit more because they were playing just 2 battles before. It just like were replaced by more knights, but it was not enough for them to get the victory.
And because this is always something we discuss whenever we've found our winner is, do the Vikings have the biggest population of players?
Not at all. In general, the whole season, the Vikings are around 28%. And this campaign, just the Knights were 30% of the players playing. So really, we have a ponderation that divides the war asset by the amount of players. It's how they play. Because having a player, you don't generate the same amount necessarily of troops. If you play better in a match, the way you deploy them, if you play more. So each player is not the same. Good players and engaged players generate more assets. So Vikings must be generating more by themselves.
Nice.
Oh, troops, not war assets. What have I done?
It's all the same.
The worst. So yes, it's a big thing, but still, the battle for the second place is still raging on. I'm rooting for the samurais this time because they're really trying. They're really trying. You can see the improvement on the curves in the data, and so let's go samurais. You can do it. You can be our seconds. It's fine.
That's true.
Yeah. And otherwise, I want to say a big thanks from my team for the involvement of the players in the Frostwind Festival.
Yeah.
It was a great success. Thank you all for your feedback. We really appreciate it. We will continue to improve in the future if we do events in the future.
Who knows?
Roman says when.
Yeah,
So
Roman shouted when from behind.
So we really like the feedback of everybody. I think it was very positive. Personally,
The weapons.
yeah, I personally get them all on Xbox. But
All
at
of them?
halftime, yes. But I used a few scavenger crates, I must be honest.
Fair.
I did not buy the buffalo because I also thought it was ugly. Maybe I will now. Maybe I will.
Oh, man.
But the weapons are insane.
Yeah.
Insane. My favorite is a Valkyrie. It's pretty nice.
So cool.
Really beautiful.
Yep.
And the last note, because our team also takes care of the orders, we are disabling the Tribute Pilgrim order, which is the one that you have to get 20 offerings. We will disable it starting 1 p.m. today, so if you already had orders, it will be still there, but they will not spawn again. And
not a super popular order. Right now.
We saw your feedback, and actually we'd look at the data, and you were right. It was less completed than other orders. It was actually not well balanced. So what we're doing, we're going to wait for improvement on everything related to Friendly Fire, look at data, look at our numbers, and then maybe if it's healthy to introduce it later, but we will wait to have more numbers on that before putting it back to the community.
Cool.
So thank you for the feedback because it slipped for us.
Cool.
Really. So that's pretty much it for this round, and we'll be coming up with new news for the next season about changes in the faction war.
We have a lot to talk about with you.
Changing in the gear, change of XP, something about salvage.
What?
So there's a lot of things coming up for us.
Yeah. So.
Spoiling everything.
Damien's.
I'm only here every 2 weeks. So I have to.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about, and even other kind of smaller things that your team has done that I think. It was your team that did the 4 execution slots before, right?
Yes,
so
yes, it's the engagement team. Yes.
Yeah, so there's always kind of things that might be on the fringes of what I'm thinking about when I'm thinking about the game, and then, oh yeah, people love that, and then...
It looks like nothing, but it really improves how you can express yourself
quality
in the
of life
game.
and that too,
and
yeah, for sure.
I really like shiny things, so it's the kind of stuff that I care about.
Season 5, the shiniest season.
Oh, if only I could.
Cool. Well, thank you as always. So, and congrats to the Vikings. We will. Yes, I was going to say the rewards. We still have to wait till the faction ends.
Yep.
Not the faction. The faction war season ends.
This season, yeah.
Faction's not ending. For everyone to get their end of season rewards. So that's coming in 2 weeks. So thank you very much.
Thanks to you.
All right. So we're going to come back now to talk about patch notes. So hit it, Max. Damien.
I don't know.
See, as always, they just take their time.
You're on the edge.
If I don't have a costume, I need to sit on the edge. That's the new rule.
Roman, how you feeling?
I think I lost a little power like Super Mario here, so I don't know what happened.
If you don't know this man, he's now been on a couple times at least. He was on our big stream for season 4. He was on when everyone was on vacation. But Stefan is on our fight team. You're one of our designers, yes?
Hi, everybody. Yes, that is true.
And we thought it would be cool to have him on because the patch has some fight stuff, as it usually does. The patch overall, we should say, is mostly bug fixes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bug fixes in this patch, but there's definitely things for us to discuss today, so we figure we'll get right into it. And just a reminder, it's coming out next Thursday. This patch drops next Thursday. So it's not out yet, but the patch notes should be available on the website if you want them. So, gentlemen, why don't we kick it off?
Great. Let's get right into some of these big bug fixes. Biggest one that I think people will be happy with today, we fixed multiple instances of soft feints, flickers, this kind of thing. Coders have explained it to me about 40,000 times. My recollection of this every time gets a little worse, so I'm just going to say, if you're playing at 100 millisecond latency between you and the opponent, you're probably going to be okay. You're not going to see the stance change, guard break, late attack problem, or at the end of a recovery, the same issue. So that's the biggest, most prevalent instance of flicker that we have. Should be all right at the 100 millisecond mark.
Cool.
If your ping sucks, you're playing someone in another country, it's going to be a bit worse.
Got it.
But yeah, every day we fix a little bit.
Yeah.
Other major one that I think everyone will be happy with, the vacuum ledges problem.
I hadn't heard it called that, but you called it that. I think that's a great...
There's also the suck, the vacuum suck, all kinds of sketchy names. But
yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, just a code bug, and code solved it. So
people will stop just randomly falling off ledges.
That's a hope. I always hope for these things.
Last
time I said 100%, I got...
Yeah, don't say 100%.
We never know what we don't.
But that's cool.
Exactly.
I think people will be happy about that. I will be a little less happy because it makes our video content, like the community content, a little less funny. A lot of random people falling off villages, but yes.
The crazy bugs. Yeah, I mean, it's still the week for this to happen. So yeah, great. Tracking bugs. We did something for Shaman so that we reduced on the pounces and the sprint attacks and so on. We're doing the same thing for other people who have big, long sprint attacks. The list is Conqueror's sprint attack, Lawbringer's sprint attack, Warlord's sprint and jumping dodge heavy, Centurion's Eagle, Fury, and Talon, and Gladiator's sprint and Crowd Pleaser, which is a dodge forward light. So same thing. If you think you should get out of the way, you probably are going to get out of the way at this point.
And they will let us know if you don't.
Yes, there will be
always
people
let us
who thinks they can but didn't, but or vice versa. Centurion got another bug fix. We fixed everyone before in the minion attacks, the soldier attacks.
Yes.
When you kill them, you used to be bumped incorrectly. This was fixed for everybody else. Centurion now gets his fix as well, so it'll be a little less frustrating to be in the lane killing soldiers.
Okay.
All right, page 3 for everyone who's following along. We're just hitting the highlights. There's, I think, 5 pages of this, so
Yeah.
we don't want to be here for 10 years.
It's pretty intense.
This is the camera. I'm sorry, I suck at this part of the...
We need one of those lights that shows you when
Yeah,
your
there's no
camera's
red
on.
light. It's not my fault.
We're not a
It's
professional organization.
not my fault. Shaman, nerfs.
What?
I fight against this every time, but I got to do it anyway. We've removed uninterruptible stance from the first 100 milliseconds of Predator's Mercy. So I grab you. If you hit me at the same time, or if somebody else hit me at the exact instant that I grabbed you, I would super armor uninterruptible stance through it and continue to bite you. Now I get hit, you get away.
It cancels it, yeah.
Exactly, no damage for the other guy. I still suffer my regular damage. So great.
Cool.
Predator's Mercy further. When you are standing up after I bite you,
It's a normal occurrence in the office.
that's it. I'm the aggressor, you're the victim. You're able to now hit revenge earlier on the stand-up.
Cool.
So 300 milliseconds after you're bitten, and 500 milliseconds earlier if you are freed by somebody hitting us.
An external hit.
An external hit, exactly. So this should make group fights a little more safe, and you don't get hit several times
Cool.
Afterwards. Also on the Shaman Predator's Mercy, at the end of her getting up, a lot of times she could be hit. And yes, she played a special hit reaction in these cases. This was also being played at the extreme end of it when she's already on her feet. And then she'd bounce, and that was a strange bug that we fixed.
Cool.
One more bug on, oh my God, it's all Predator's Mercy. Every bug I have is on Predator's Mercy. If, the super technical one, again, the coders explained to me 40 times. If your opponent was bleeding and the bleed ticked at just the right time when the Shaman is flying through the air, we had crazy snapping again. So this has been removed and fixed. So
Cool.
Another tracking fix for
Great.
Predator's Mercy. Great. Out of stamina, Shaman used to be able to heavy finisher and then dodge or guard break, even when she was out of stamina. This has been removed, so if she goes out of stamina launching the heavy finisher, she's going to finish with that heavy finisher, so parry it, knock her down. And max punish her. Great. Aramusha buffs. Okay, so we're going to buff, generally, his blade blockade move, and a few other things. So across the board, Fury Unleashed, Twin Vipers, Ring the Bell, they all go up 5 damage, and Ring the Bell does 10 more stamina damage. Fury Unleashed also gets uninterruptible stance, which is super armor. So the intention here is that it's a little more worthwhile to do blade blockade rather than parry in this case. On the other hand, we're also making the parry guard break heavy useful for Aramusha. Basic top heavy is now 600 milliseconds. It was 700 milliseconds. This means when you guard break as Aramusha, you can get a top heavy for free.
So if I could interrupt for a second.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
As we do these, we kind of grab questions from the chat to answer later. I see one already from Prime Robbie HD. He's probably happy right now because he says, I imagine you guys have heard a lot of criticism about Shaman. Sorry, I still do it. Shaman.
Shaman's a Pokemon.
being a little overpowered. And I hope that addresses that. And Aramusha being a little underpowered. Do you guys have plans to do anything about that? Answer's yes, you just told us. Give my boy Aramusha a heavy off of GB.
All right, well, just for Prime Robbie HD, you get a top heavy for free off of guard break now. So,
Anything else?
it's all you. Anything else?
If you're upset about that, talk to Prime Robbie.
Exactly. No,
His fault.
it's not his or her fault. I guess Robbie's I don't know. And basic side heavy is now 30 damage, was 25 damage. Yes, we've heard Aramusha needs a bit of buff, so here's something.
But it's not just that.
We can see as well in the
Heard
data
that,
that,
yeah.
he's super low tier right now in our data. So
Yeah, there's a few. I mean, like we talked about earlier, you guys talked about, we're looking at Kensei, we're looking at Highlander. Those are getting much
yeah,
heavier things
updates.
in a month.
Yep.
And Aramusha, I think maybe needs little nudges rather than
Yeah.
to,
yeah.
you know, tear the whole thing down, tear the whole thing back up. That's
Right.
not necessary, I think.
Agreed.
But yes, Aramusha needs a little, and Shaman little.
Just
Not
to
much.
shave a bit off the top.
Exactly.
Cool,
But we've
cool.
definitely heard, yes. If the question is, have we heard this stuff? I hear it every day. Yes. I see it on Reddit. People come to my desk and they scream at me. So both ways, up and down. Yeah, exactly. Roman, I'm always looking for him because I value my safety. And it should be all right. Aramusha, one last thing. Oh, I almost
Yeah.
forgot. Could be guard broken out of right light attack. Didn't have guard break immunity like most people do, so this is now applied as well.
Okay.
So it's safer to attack, light attack as Aramusha. So do it.
Cool.
Those are the big
Cool.
things for fight.
Great.
Yeah. May I speak a bit?
No.
I'm sorry. I'm
It's
not
okay, it's okay, it's okay.
Yes, you may speak.
On the maps, on the Viking Village, we fixed an issue that caused the barrel trap to not execute the Shaman and the Aramusha.
Another nerf.
Yeah, another note. And in tribute, this is an improvement.
This one's great.
Yeah, we discussed already in past shows. Now friendly fire don't make the flag drop.
Right.
So now if I hit you, you're on my team, you keep the flag.
Yeah, it's a big. That's a big one that people wanted.
Yeah,
And, it
so
sort of plays into the thing Bio was
People were
talking about.
using that to grief to do some orders.
Yes.
There were some cheesing with it, etc. So
Yep.
it's fixed
Yay.
or it's improved. Then what can I say? What can I say?
I don't know.
We
If only you
did
took some notes.
We did. Yeah, I maybe we need to disclose that.
Feel free. It's
So
a new year. It's the year of
I think a
transparency.
few days before the wires, then always ask us, hey guys, what do you want to speak about? Here is the whole update. Which one are you want to speak about? Then I do the list. I send him back the list of the thing I want to speak about.
Right.
And then he discards.
I didn't
all
even
of
look at it.
And then I arrive at the show and I say,
full
where's
list.
the list of the thing I want to speak about? And he said,
You should know it.
Yeah.
You're the one who gave me the list. So
Anyway.
I just printed out the full thing, and now he's gonna remember what he
so
wanted.
now
to
I'm
talk
very upset.
about. Yep. This is Damien when he's upset. by
And
the way.
disappointed. We did a bunch of fix on dual tournaments. I won't disclose all of them, but there is one that came quite a lot, which is an issue that caused the quit penalty to trigger when leaving a tournament after being eliminated in the
Yes.
qualifiers. That was a very painful one. Should be fixed now. And then we did a bunch of improvement of Faction War, because everybody loves Faction War, not only Bio.
Starring Ray Romano.
I love it too, so we'll keep improving it. We did we've added some pages. So like now we explain a bit more how you can earn your troops at the end of a match. We've added, so it's written like we've added a weather icon above the territory's icon name.
So every territory has a different weather condition?
But it's not that what we did, in fact, because on each territory we assign maps, and that's why you play on those maps. So when you select a front, you will play on the maps that are located on that front.
Right.
And it's an information that we weren't saying. So now, when you highlight a specific zone in the front, we'll tell you which map is there, so on which map you will play, basically.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of people didn't realize was already the case.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're finally
so now
giving you the
we're
information.
saying it, and that's why we've added those icons to tell you, oh, that's the cathedral under the snow.
Right.
It's there on the world map, so when you play on that front, you will play that map.
Cool.
So that's cool. Then we've added some messages. We've added an icon to emphasize the selected player faction. So basically, we've refined a bit the UI. We keep refining Faction War, and you.
I'm excited.
I want to leak things to be. You're not the only one. Yeah.
Pascal warned me too. He's like, "Don't let Damien leak anything on
bench."
Oh man.
On the UI, we fixed a case that might have caused the user to join a match in progress and remain stuck in tactical view for the whole game. It happened to me as well. This one is a really painful one, so it should be fixed now. And we did also some other bug fixes on PC, and we've added some options. So now on the dynamic reflection toggle, you have a quality selection box.
Sounded like a clown horn.
Yeah. So now you can select different options of quality for dynamic reflections, because why not?
Hell yeah.
You have a PC. That's why you want to have a PC.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the dynamic reflections are also in the Xbox One.
It's on the Xbox One, but you don't have the option on the Xbox One.
But it's there.
But it's there.
Yes. You just can't tell.
And it's cool.
It's super cool. It makes me want to get an Xbox One X.
Yeah. I have an Xbox One X just because of that.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Can I
Is
borrow
this
it?
After we shipped the For Honor Improvement, I bought one. I said, okay, I need to see that on my home TV. I have a PC as well, so I don't know what I have done.
I really want one of those.
You don't have a 4K TV.
I don't have
Really?
a 4K TV.
Oh my God.
That's money very well spent.
It's an aspirational purchase.
At least it's 2 sales, right?
I'm on the future.
So again, that's only some highlights from the patches. There's a ton more little bullets in here that you'll want to read.
It's coming out next week.
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Yeah.
So it should be probably a morning maintenance like we usually do next Thursday. And Fred can link to it if he has it up, and if he doesn't, it will be up soon. Cool. That's the patching. And what we
Let's sing.
sometimes I don't have a good transition, and I just sing. We want to do a Q&A, which I know you folks like. So we're going to bring Roman back out for that. Steph's going to stick around. Damien's going to stick around. Let's do a Q&A.
Do we do? Chaise musicale?
Musical chairs,
chair?
yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
It's
I
priority.
see what you're doing, Max. I see what you're doing.
Okay, so I don't have any prepared questions. They don't do that anymore on the old competitive Reddit, I don't think.
So many changes this year.
I don't blame them. We didn't always take them. There's a lot of work for whatever. But we have questions from the chat. And let's see. Let's start with Lord Dark Moth. It's hard to coordinate with the other players of the same faction for Faction War. Are there any plans on making a centralized place or some kind of web app that helps that? Well, we already have a web app right now. If you go to fh.ub.com, you can see the current state of the Faction War. You can scrub through all the turns and all the battles. Sorry, all the battles. You can do a bunch of other stuff. We've shown it before on the show. There's player stats. You can create your emblem. You can edit your emblem. And
And I
too
know.
dark. Am I too dark? It's brighten me up here. But I don't know if he's asking if there's like an improved app where you're
But there are some unofficial spaces, like some subreddits where I know Viking organize themselves really well, and that's maybe why they win.
Yeah.
So maybe we could link some of those. I know the Knights have one too. I don't know for the Samurai.
Pretty sure the Samurai do.
Yeah. So maybe we can link those to the players. So
that'd be great.
If
If anyone,
their family and make their faction win.
You're right. We should surface those a bit better for people. But I don't know. We don't have Bio on the couch anymore. If she had any specific strategies for people to coordinate, but she can share with us if she does. No, she's shaking her head. She's all good.
No, we let people organize themselves. It's community.
Here's a good
It's
Damien.
your job,
Here's a good
not
Damien
ours.
From
This is a Damien one?
This is a Damien one. Far
There's a big
Herm.
problem in ranked. Thank you. Thank you.
It's a big problem in ranked match zones. Will there be any changes for them? Because it may cause big anomalies in the next campaign.
So I'm not sure what he's referring to with zones and campaigns. Campaigns, he means the next season, maybe?
I think so.
Yeah, it's but I don't see the link with rank.
Ranked.
So what I can say about rank now, the screen is
Yeah,
off.
thanks, Max.
Now I can say about rank is that we will keep pushing, improving rank. So we're looking at the rewards right now. We did a rank front so that it's easier to access, and now everybody can see it, everybody can engage in it.
I think maybe that's what he's talking about. He's talking about the ranked front. I don't know what the big problem in the ranked front is, though.
Because of your war asset bonus when you deploy on the front.
Because of your war asset
we don't
bonus
have
when you
that
deploy
anymore, do
on
we?
the front.
Okay. We will discuss that with Bio. But I don't have an answer right now. But what I can say is that the team is still working on the rank mode, of course, and we have many improvements.
And we just did an emergency maintenance last week to fix a bug on the PC ranked, right?
Yeah. So we're not leaving that as it is. We still have
Still in
some
beta.
improvements for it. Master, stuff like that. I think we already discussed.
Cool.
Better reward.
Yeah.
So while we're grilling you about ranked, Destroyer 01, is the player base on ranked modes low, or is there a bug that doesn't let us play the mode?
The player base playing ranked is lower than some other modes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So people who want to play rank, it's a smaller population.
And the season
Then
kicked
it
off
depends
with
on the
that bug too,
platforms
right?
and stuff like that. We had some bugs before that were making the matchmaking worse and things like that, but we fixed those since then. So now it should be okay. So now it's more a population thing. That's why we did a ranked front, so that people can see it, people can know, okay, I need to go there if I want to play ranked, etc. Then we want to bring more incentive to play ranked, so by playing with the rewards, as Roman was saying, and we have other ideas to make ranked a bit more popular. But then we can't force people to play competitively because it's pretty stressful, and even more in our game, I think. So then it's a community choice.
Cool. See a lot more Damien questions. I'm just scanning the list now to see if I can involve you guys.
Hey, how are you?
Do you see any up here that
The Shugoki, that's more for you guys.
Sure.
Sophie McSophie Faces got a Shigoki question because she always does. I know all my questions are ever about the Shigoki, but are there any plans to fix the bug where he can be guard broken by an out of stamina opponent after doing his max punish unblockable heavy on them? Thanks and love you all.
Sure. Thanks, Sophie. We've seen your play. Excellent player. Thank you for the question. Yes, we're totally aware of this. Shugoki's in one of these spots where we're trying to figure out what to do with Shugoki. That's why things have been a little slow on him. But we're definitely aware. Why, when you get a great unblockable heavy, do you then lose on the trade? Maybe you get grabbed and thrown off a pit and you die, and that's silly. We have similar. Warden's got the zone. It's blocked, gives up a free guard break. Conqueror does some strange stuff with the passive superior block. These are things we're looking at. We've been a little slow on them, I think, but I think the results are going to be coming probably
Starting in
sooner
season
than
5.
starting. There you go. Thank you for
That's what we said. It's for Conqueror. It's going
Right.
with the improvements in season 5. Shugoki is part of the characters that are gonna get the same treatment in the next season,
Right.
and that should go with it. So that's part of the goal for this year, focusing on balancing and
Yep.
reworking some of the characters with more drastic changes than just numbers.
And we'll communicate
Running
that
through the-
kind
through
of
the year.
priority order as
Yes.
we get closer and know what the order of releases will be. Like we know that first batch right now because they're done. But we'll communicate the other ones as we get closer. Cool. Let's see, Damien.
Go, Damien.
Bah,
So
let's
many
go,
Damiens. People love
I
Damien.
will answer them like that. Let's go,
rapid
Eric.
fire.
Ask them.
Wait, I want to grill Roman on something that I've already grilled him on in person. Squatting Turtle and I want to know, Roman, why did you delete your Twitter?
For the same reason that I don't have my professional mails at home.
So you need to unplug sometimes. For real, it's actually, if you go to my Twitter, I've been ranting about this morning. It's a whole discussion in the dev world, actually. I would love to go there for a moment. And I think there's a lot of expectation sometimes for devs to always be available, which I don't think is fair. People like me, where it's more my job to actually be out there responding to people, sure. So I would understand not wanting to always have people able to pick at you or ask you questions, or if they want to be mean, they could be mean. But I also know Roman, so he's probably preventing himself from saying stuff back that might get him in trouble. So it's probably for the best. But you will be missed. Rip Roman's Twitter account.
So I can't CC Roman anymore on
No.
a question I don't want
Damien's
to answer.
not allowed to leave. Though. Damien has to stay on Twitter or I will
But
cry.
I won't get in trouble with
Exactly.
you guys for insulting and ranting at people. It's okay.
It's for everybody's benefit.
But we'll be lurking. We'll be listening. So continue to talk.
Yes. Cool. I think
now I
these
will
are all
CC
it's
you
the
both.
Damien show, I think, at this point in the questions.
Do you have
whichever you like.
any? So Vaudian. Do you have any updates on the Frostwind weapons carrying over to higher reps? No, we don't have any update, but keep those in your inventory because we'll have an update, but just not now. Any plans to make items craftable? So this is asked by Andrew HS. Any plans to make items craftable? There are quite a lot of variations now, and it takes a long time to get a specific set. Salvage could be useful here, since everyone has thousands of it. So yes, we have ideas for salvage, as we said before. It might come in season 5, but I won't say more. We will in a few weeks. You want me to continue?
No, yeah, sure.
Off the Stone is asking us, can we please be able to turn off join game in progress in Dominion? I'd rather wait longer to play a new game rather than join one. My team is already losing. So
We tweaked that, no?
I would say yes and no on the answer. So we have an idea where we want to make the join in progress as a matchmaking parameter. But it's not on the top of the list of the priority. We have, I think, other priorities regarding matchmaking that we want to work with the team as soon as they ship the servers.
We did update the rules, though, right? Like, you
we
can't
did-
join right at the end of a match.
Yeah, we did update the rules. Now you can only join at the beginning of the match. So normally when you join a match, you should be able to turn the results if you're good enough. So we don't plan to disable join in progress because it's also helping to get the matches to keep the matches alive and to have a better matchmaking time and things like that. So it brings a lot of helps on the other side. Thanks to quit penalty, we have less people joining quitting as well. So there are less contexts where you need to join a match. We still have ideas as well for improving quit penalty, but that's another story. Anyway, so we don't plan to do that in the near future, but I'd like to have a matchmaking parameter linked to join progress at one point when we have time to do that.
Cool. Did you see one?
So I have a question for Steph. Actually, Ambosson has a question for Steph.
And yours Vessel, so.
At For Honor game, are you looking at back dodges? Character with 500 or 600 milliseconds can flee just by dash spamming and don't have to engage ever.
This is asked by
Yes.
Ambosson.
Yes, we're not super hot on back dodge escape, back roll escape, the ease at which you can just avoid combat. This is being looked at. This is going to be resolved soon. Less soon than the initial soons that I said for earlier. Perfect. But yes.
So much mystery.
It's coming. But yes, if you're sad that everyone just back dodges, rolls away, disengages, this is something we are clearly aware of and is going to be solved.
It's something we're working on. The issue is that it's always the thin balance between advantage for attackers, defender, and where it sometimes can get frustrated, like, oh yeah, I'm getting jumped, but there's no way I can escape, and I'm just dead, or this kind of thing.
Exactly,
So,
and we do have to balance, like, is it a 1v1 scenario?
Yeah,
Is it a group fight scenario? Those are...
so that's why it's taking a little bit of time. We do some back and forth on that. We're continuing to work on it, so yes, we're aware of it, we're looking at it, and changes will come on this one for sure. Robbie HD, question for Roman. Do you guys have a clear vision of which characters are high tier and which are low tier? And does that affect which character you update? Or do you balance around average win-loss ratio rather than the character skill ceiling? Do we do our job or not?
He's asking in a nice way.
So, no, we are not just balancing based on kill death or win-loss ratio depending on the game mode. That's one of the parameters, and depending of the skill level of the players we're looking at, sometimes that's a relevant information, sometimes it's not a relevant information. We also have a lot of discussion with a lot of players, that either the guys that we're bringing to Montreal to have workshop with, or people we're discussing with on a specific Discord channel. So we have our own take on those tier based on how much skill it requires for you to pull out the best strategy of your character. So yes, it's something we're looking at. It's something that we're managing. Is it in a perfect state? Yes, for sure, it's not. And it's something that we are continuing to work on. One thing that is important to understand is that the release timing of updates on character, it's not necessarily based on what we think is the most urgent thing to fix. It's more based on how much time it takes to actually fix or improve something, test it, and make sure that it's actually an improvement and not a false good idea. And that is important. That's why sometimes we are more reactive on some minor stuff, and sometimes it takes a really long time for an improvement, like for example on the Highlander or the Kensei that are really low tier. It's not because we don't care about the Highlander and it's on the side. It's because we are taking time to make sure that the changes we are making are the correct one. So that's the reason.
Cool.
Buff my glass.
Buff my class.
Didac underscore 1992. 2 weeks ago, I've got to Diamond 3 on Duel.
Congrats.
You made a backup and removed my rank. I want it back. I posted.
I removed my congrats. I'm sorry.
Apologies.
Apologies.
On the forum with no response. Please give me my rank back. We won't give you rank back. No, it's we had an issue last week on PC. I hope he's on PC. We had an issue last week on PC where some of the ranks were deleted. Only for 1 day and a half. We put it back, so normally it should be back for you. And if it's not the case, please contact Ubisoft support so that we can look into it.
Yeah, if you're, he mentions that he posted his stuff on the forum, so our forum guru Fred is in the chat right now, so maybe hook up with Fred with your information so he can help us look into that more.
Because it should be fixed now. So if it's not, I'd like to be aware of it.
Yep.
For some people.
Cool.
Turbo
Death Drone.
In the upcoming seasons, is the art team going to reconsider the stance on bringing new armor sets? The art team is fantastic, I agree. And I'd really like to see more of them. We all like to see more armors. As we discussed it before in previous shows, this is the most costly thing to do. It takes a huge amount of time, and then you have to multiply it by the number of heroes. I'm not saying we will never do new armors, but it's one of the hardest things to do for the team right now. So I don't know when we will do one, but for sure it will be cool when it will be done.
Okay.
This one we answered it.
Yeah, the and then
Shy.
Yep, this will be our last one.
Are you guys looking at increasing gear inventory? I like to hold on to all the special sets, and my lobby is running out of room, meaning I have to constantly clear out. Thank in advance. It's still something we're investigating. It's pretty tricky, to be honest. No real solution yet. We have ideas in the end that will also help that, upcoming ideas that won't come super soon, but we have upcoming ideas. And the team is still looking at increasing inventory space. Same thing, we had many requests about adding more loadouts. It's hitting exactly on the same issue as in increasing inventory space. So I don't know if we will be able to do it or not, but the team is still investigating it.
And that's just a tech limitation.
Yeah, it's pure tech limitation.
Got it. Cool. So let's wrap up the Q&A. I'm sure people are still shouting things in the chat. I think that's long enough for this show because it's already a pretty long show. I've been reminded by our executive producer, Maddie, to...
so she's asking you what's going on For Honor Season 5.
Yes, because we talked a lot at the very start of the show, and we know how
Because she was late to the show.
Yeah, she's not plugged in. We know how Twitch works. A lot of you have probably joined since we talked about this, so just a real quick recap of what you might have missed. We started the show talking about Season 5, because Season 5 comes after Season 4. It's coming next month. And we had not previously said anything about that.
Yeah.
So, to summarize...
Hero updates. We'll start with hero updates. No new heroes. Hero updates.
Conqueror, Kensei, Berserker, Highlander.
Some fight update as well.
Parry
change. The arrival of the dedicated servers. The dedicated servers.
There we go.
Dedicated servers during the season.
Yes.
And after that, the lag compensation addition.
But still in the season.
Still in the season. And on top of that, as we said before, still weekly release, still new content, still new features, and events.
Yes, so we will get into that starting in 2 weeks on January 25th. On the Warrior's Den, we'll go into a lot more detail of these things. We just wanted to give you a high-level picture so you're not in the dark about what's happening in For Honor. So, gentlemen, thank you very much. We have Community Corner now, which you're always welcome to stay for or leave for, and I'll only be sort of disappointed if you leave.
Let's go.
Really hungry.
You can go eat. You can definitely go eat. All right, transition me, Max. Steph's staying because he's the best. Screw you guys. We have not a lot of clips this week, but actually they're really good and they're longer than we usually do. We try to keep the clips short, keep it punchy, but we figured just for this one time, because it's the first show of the year, we had the Frostwind Festival, we have New Year. I sort of wanted to feature some great videos from a lot of our frequent content creators, and they are a bit longer. I said it a couple times just to prepare you. Just to sort of ring in the new year in a fun way. So, that said, this is not someone we've had on the show before, but this is amazing. You're going to love this. Damien should have stayed. I should have reminded him. The Kensei. It's a Kensei thing.
Ooh,
so this
like
is a group that does a bunch of videos, and they've done a Warden one before. But basically, they're going to create a mini Nodashi sword. So they start with a spoon. They start with an old spoon, and then they do a sword. And it's pretty dope. So I thought I'd show it on the show today. So let's check it out. This is creation of a mini Nodashi sword from Dagon Valtaris.
The Nodachi was long thought to be too large for use in real war. They proved them wrong. Their armor is the strongest of our people. As is their will.
Yep. Amazing. I didn't give their YouTube channel. Their YouTube channel is Portuguese, so it's Mestres da Forja. So I hope I pronounced that correctly. Super awesome. I hope they continue to do things like that.
I'm never going to look at a spoon the same way.
Right? A spoon, an old spoon. Amazing. Okay, so someone who we have on the community corner very frequently, Hell Euphoria, is back with another. This is the 32nd one in his series called Against the Odds. It's a 3v1 cleaning house in tribute. Short one. Good
Highlander. Why does he need a buff?
Yeah, does he need a buff
Seems
anymore?
fine. Yeah,
Let's cancel
totally
that.
good.
Okay, another frequent guest here, Havoc. This is called For Honor Ultra Instinct.
Musicality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Warden beat Shaman too, so it seems like everybody's fine. Like, I don't know.
Great stuff, Havoc. That video actually goes on a bit longer. We wanted to kind of trim it a bit to keep things rolling, but thank you. Up next, Zero Crack, one of my personal faves. He always makes me laugh. For Honor Christmas Special, The Ice Troll. You will enjoy this one.
Anakin! I have the high ground!
You underestimate my
victory! Shogoki, how did you get up there?
Fucking cheater. Fight!
Supreme victory!
What the fuck?
GNE.
What? WR.
No one told you life was gonna be this way.
Yes, that's another one that goes on for 6 full minutes. Poking some fun at us for a bug.
I'm glad we showed the exploit videos after the event is over. That's
yes,
a good.
That was an unfortunate bug in Ice Brawlers, and I'm glad that some funny content came out of it. We fixed the bug, even though that mode's gone. So I saw a bug fix for that. I'm like, well, I'm glad we fixed it. Who knows? That'll come back someday, maybe. Thank you, Zero Crack. Keep up the good work this year. And just going to wrap it up here with our man Spliced. And this is a little out of the ordinary for us. This is more of a heartfelt message from Spliced. It's his year 1 review, Why I Love For Honor.
When For Honor released, it was unlike any game anyone has ever seen before. A new IP with a new type of game mechanic that I don't think anyone was expecting. As soon as I saw this game, I was immediately interested, and I followed it for many years until its final release in February 14th, 2017. As soon as I started playing it, I realized that this was a game that was meant for me. A game that was so wrapped around its medieval era, and not really necessarily pushing the boundaries of it either. The thing that makes it so special to me is how bold the leap was into this game. It might have had a little shaky start and might have had some rocky bumps along the way, but this game has been such a good stamp in my channel, and I bet for many others as well. From game mechanics to setting to graphics to sound and the beautiful landscapes of this game, this is what makes this game truly a spectacle. The thing that makes games so special, when done right, is how they can take you away from the problems of the real world and put you into a world where you can really enjoy something that you had on your mind for a while. It takes your fantasies and turns them into a reality. And that's what makes games so special from movies, is that you also get to interact with these worlds. From the vastly wide selection of character customization and different characters you can use, there's something for everyone in this game. And it's a little unfortunate that this game has been swept under the rug from all the negative controversy that it's spewed. No game is perfect, especially ones that push the boundary and go into new IPs. And For Honor is one of those games that really took that leap. There might be many that disagree with me, but this is why I love For Honor.
Yes, thank you, Spliced, for the heartfelt message of love. We love you back. Keep up the good work as well. We love your videos. We actually had to choose between that and another one of your videos that you did this week because you're always cranking out the content. So that is pretty much the time we have for today. I wanted to recap again what we talked about at the top of the show because we're seeing in the chat that more and more people are coming and saying, "What did I miss? What did I miss?" So good job being on time, I guess. But if you missed the top of the show, we sat down with Damien and Roman to give you some high-level look at what we're doing in Season 5, which comes in about a month. It's going to be in February. So that is, we're not going to go in depth. We're not going to show you like our roadmap, but we wanted you to know we're focusing a lot. This is your team. We're focusing a lot on balance.
Yeah, patch is coming next week. That's the regular patch. Yep. It's got bug fixes, got some balance stuff.
Yep.
And then
with Season 5,
a month from now,
your updated heroes, the first set of updated heroes.
Exactly. We're going to hit Kensei, we're going to hit Berserker, we're going to hit Conqueror. Highlander's getting some stuff.
Yep.
A few other people are getting tiny little things, but those are the big.
Those are the big ones. But that's not the end. There's really an intention to keep up, roll through a lot of the rest of the roster. With similar updates, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so that's really the focus of the team. We've been hearing your feedback all year, and we know everyone wants a more and more focus on balance, and we agree. And so along with that, because the team is focusing so much on balance, we're not focusing on creating new heroes to come out with Season 5. So there's no new heroes in Season 5. We're going to be focusing on updating the existing heroes, getting everyone in a good spot. And that is not all. We have a ton happening in Season 5. The other very big thing, obviously, is the dedicated servers are coming in Season 5. We will give you the exact date when we are able to. That will probably be in a couple weeks. On January 25th, we're going to be going actually in depth on the Season 5 stuff. We're just talking high level right now. So join us back on the 25th with the servers. After we do the servers, we can then do our input lag compensation, which is another thing your team is working on. And we have more info on that coming. We have the team doing a blog post about it. I think, actually, you or another guy on your team are doing another blog post probably about the updated heroes, right?
Yes, heroes should get some descriptions for you guys. Lag compensation at the point where we're ready for that will as well. Parry is going to get.
That's right. The parry is another thing I left out. The parry will come in Season 5 as well. The parry change that we've talked about here on the show. Again, that's not to say we're not going to have weekly releases. We're not going to have new content. We're not going to have seasonal events. There's still a ton to come, and we're excited to talk to you about that in detail come back in a couple weeks. We will still be here next week, by the way. I'm saying come back in a couple weeks because that's when we're talking about it. There's still a Warriors Den next week, but we'll hit that Season 5 deeper dive stuff in 2 weeks. So tell your friends, because I keep seeing in the chat, well, when are the servers coming? So we just told you in Season 5. So I'm really excited about that, about the updates on the heroes. I think it's gonna breathe a lot of life into some characters that people haven't picked a lot.
It's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
It's gonna be huge.
Conqueror, I know Conqueror especially, it's almost meme level how much people love and want to love the Conqueror.
If only he or she could fight.
Yes.
But that's gonna happen soon.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. So it's really exciting. So stick with us. We'll obviously be showing you everything when we can, and it's all quite cool. So I think that is it. The patch notes are up right now on the website. If you go to forhonorgame.com/patchnotes, if you missed those, the full notes are up. You can check them out. That comes out next week, as Stefan said. So thank you very much for joining us. It's a bit of a longer show. We really wanted to kick off the year in style. I think we've done that. Thanks to Roman and Damon, who are now gone eating lunch without us. And thanks you so much for missing lunch to be here. And everybody else.
I'm wasting away right now.
Yes.
Atrophying as we speak, actually.
So we will be back next week. Thank you, and see you online, on Reddit, on Twitter, on forums, everywhere. Catch you later.
Thanks, guys and girls.